Good morning, everybody. This is so exciting. So, I got up a little extra early today. The dogs, not dogs plural, one specifically, Penny, decides to get up 3 times in the middle of the night, kind of like a newborn where you're like, you just get to sleep and then all of a sudden you hear something and it's time to get up again. So, I've been up for quite a while. So I really should be on to my cold caffeine, but for you, my friends, I am still on to my morning caffeine. This is my mug of the day. It is from this lovely place, the Disney's Animal Kingdom. This cup is used and abused. It's actually got little scratches all over it and some kind of stain over here, but I think the mug is super cute. So if you don't know already, Pooh Bear is my favorite of all the characters. So I pulled this one out of our mug cabinet today to share with you. So it is my Disney Animal Kingdom, and I have hazelnut today. My daughter, Alyssa, I think I'd mentioned before, they're living with us until their new home is complete. They do have a closing date the end of September, so I've only got a little bit more time with them, but she likes hazelnut, so we've been going back and forth. So today, hazelnut. Cheers to you all, my friends. So good morning. This is so exciting. As always, this is the best way for me to start my week. I do it on Mondays early because I'm still working on Mondays. I still have appointments. I still have clients. I still have closings or showings or walkthroughs and things like that. But usually on Monday morning, 99% of the builders, the new construction communities don't open on Mondays until noon. For most of them, that's when they have their builder and sales meetings. So we wouldn't be able to get into there until later anyway. And of course, if we're showing homes, I don't usually schedule those until a little bit late morning, early afternoon anyway. So Monday morning, coffee with you is one of my favorite things. So good morning to everybody. Thank you again for joining us. We have a jam-packed day today. Like sometimes I worry about what in the world am I going to talk about? And for me to worry about what I'm going to talk about is a little worrisome because I could talk about anything forever. No. Rude. Eric off camera just said no. Like shocking. But anyway, so lots to do today. I'm very excited about lots of things. We've got some of those newer little mini segments and things to kind of keep this interesting so that we don't just sit here and just listen to me banter forever and ever and ever. But I want to say good morning to a few of you. I was trying to do that before we started, but it happened so fast. Okay, so this one is cracking me up. Daniel and Erica. Okay, so yes. Okay, so what? So they recently in their home, they finally have the school drop-off routine for all 3 kids that doesn't take 3 hours time for coffee. Here is to you, my sweet friends. Yes. Been there, done that. That is one of the hardest things. And we are actually, I think Eric and I talked about doing a Sunday drive one day to demonstrate to you what parent drop off and pickup looks like and feels like here in Florida. And yeah, it is definitely a web that you have to navigate. You kind of time it to when you need to leave your house, what time you need to get in there, how long you're going to be sitting on the street. How long is it going to take for them to get out of your car or into your car? So if you have mastered it in this short period of time, then I am majorly impressed with you. So well done, guys. Good morning, Gary and Shrina. Tammy, I already told you, can't wait to see you coming up in a couple weeks. We're going to get to meet. And I will tell you, okay, something's tickling me. Okay, so I have clients that are all amazing. So many of them have their own talents and gifts, and I will tell you that Tammy and her husband have made so many incredible upgrades and projects done to their home that has really transformed it. And I help them when they purchase that home, and whenever they do their projects, she'll send me little things, and she's given me some pointers when Eric and I attempted our first little trim DIY project in our other home here in Florida. But I can't wait to see the house in person because all I've been getting are the little snapshots, and they are a DIY force to be reckoned with. They could have their own show. I mean, we're talking like custom cabinets, like not just some trim work. We're talking like full built-ins and cabinets. So quite impressive. Can't wait to see you, Tammy. Sydney, you are so loyal. We love it when we see you pop up. Oh my gosh, Elizabeth's going to classes. She's at college. Yes, ma'am. You better be on your way to your 9 a.m. class. We're already there at this point. Pam and Kim and Tracy and Kennard. Good morning, Kennard. I wonder if you got a good night's sleep. How is baby Boo doing? Are we finally going through the night? Probably not. And Shafiq, Hello, Shafiq. We're going to talk about you in just a few minutes as well. Oh my goodness, the list goes on and on and on. And we have Lori from Germany. Okay, that is so exciting. And somebody said the humidity in Connecticut. Where was that one? I saw that one. There you are, Kim. Good morning from Connecticut. And somebody else said humidity from somewhere. It's all cracking me up though. I love it. So here in Florida, it is a beautiful day thus far. I can see the sun coming in through the windows. Was it yesterday? We had some storms not too long ago that were basically filling up our pool, not with the correct water, by the way. But yeah, lots of storms popping up. But today we have a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. Susie from New York. Love the animal kingdom. Yes, me too. Maria McAvoy, you've got some exciting news coming up, don't you? I've been following along with our text messages with the builder. Everything is so exciting. Okay, so.
One more.
Excuse me.
Barrett.
Alex is on here? Where?
The very bottom.
Alex, good morning, Alex. So Alex, oh my gosh. So Alex has, and by the way, Alex, with permission, one day I will air this, not today because I'll have to get permission and I'll have to go back and find it. But Alex sent me, so Alex had put an offer in on a new construction home back in the time when it was highest and best offer. So we had to be very strategic about the timing and the pricing. And oh boy, his heart was just totally set on that home. And we were waiting for them to be released. It was released. We found out the good news that his offer was the one that they accepted, and he sent me a little snippet of his Ring doorbell camera of him standing out front on the porch getting the news, and he was just dancing around. So Alex, let me know, text me later, let me know if I have permission to do that, because that was the cutest daggone thing I've ever seen. And it kind of, I don't know, it just kind of makes it even more rewarding to know that people get it, well, of course you're going to get probably more excited than I am, but I get so excited when I hear that good news from my clients. And so to see you kind of dancing around out there was just, it was so heartwarming. So big day in front of us. We have a lot of things to get to here on our coffee time together. First of all, if you've got questions, just as a reminder, if you have questions in here, we're going to try to get to them. If we don't get to all of them, I'm sorry, we'll get to them as soon as we can. Excuse me. I don't know why I cough as soon as we start. I think it's because I start talking, and until then, I'm kind of quiet on Monday morning. But if you have a question, don't forget to put a capital Q with a colon. That'll just help me as we go through and we search for those questions. But most importantly, good Monday morning to everyone, or Monday afternoon, or Monday evening, depending on where you are in this big, massive, beautiful world that we all live in together. Again, cheers to you. Okay, so let's talk about what is brewing today. That's going to be next. Okay, so these are our What's Brewing topics for today. Piccolini's listing updates and 4, 5, 6. So we're going to go over that. So Piccolino's is, did I say Piccolini's a minute ago? Piccolino's. Anyway, Piccolino's is a children's haircut business that just opened in the Mark, which is a little retail commercial shopping area just out front of Watermark, which is a Meritage Homes community here. One of the quickest, largest, best, and fastest selling communities when Horizon West was really in its initial burst and boom. Meritage had a gorgeous community, but it's just that they're out of there now. But the homeowners still have a gorgeous community called Watermark. And right out front of that is, we've driven through it and referenced it several times on like our Sunday drives. Huey Magoo's is out there. That has become one of our family favorites with amazing chicken and all the sauces that they have. But today we're going to talk about Piccolino's because we fell in love. So first of all, I've said it before. If my clients are kind enough to let me into their lives post real estate transaction, because I'm fully aware that when people reach out, they really reach out to me for one thing, for the most part, is to help them or assist them through the buying or the selling process in real estate. But I tend to get very attached. And so for those who are kind enough to maintain that friendship and that relationship post closing, it's such a joy, and it makes my heart get bigger and bigger. So here is an example. This is a little guy. I don't know if I should say his name, but he's absolutely adorable. We helped his family purchase a new home here in well, actually, we helped them sell their existing home and then purchase a new home. And this little guy was the first customer at Piccolino's. They just opened, and he was the first customer to get his first haircut. And it is stinking adorable. I just tell you, he is so cute. And, because if you think about it, when we sold their home and, a baby, right? And then by the time their new construction home had gone through the entire build process, that's a long time. And that is a long time for me to get connected to people. And so I really do. I'm like, this is my family, whether I see them all the time or not. This just excites me. It excites me like I'm an honorary grandmother or something. So anyway, congratulations to being the very first customer at Piccolino's. We might actually have them on as a guest sometime. So I'm going to text them later and see, because they have some special inside scoop with Disney and all of the, the cast member info over there. All right. So going back to listing updates. So this one I think is really important. We have several listings at the moment. Several of them are pending. This one is absolutely amazing. We referenced it a couple of weeks ago, and this is really just, I think, a great example of the market. And when we talk about things slowing down a little bit, slowing down doesn't mean that it's coming to a halt. It just means that we're back to a more typical market where if you put it for sale and it goes active, a year ago, 6 months ago, people were snatching them up within hours. It would be a day. If it was on the market for a week, you're like, what's wrong with it? Now we're not at that stage. So now the foot traffic is a little bit slower, and we can really say that's happening for several different reasons. And, partly it is back to school time, whether you're like us and you've already started, or whether, you start after Labor Day. Labor Day is coming up. So there's just that kind of diminishes a lot of the foot traffic anyway for those families that have school-age children that are not in a more time crunch or desperate situation and timeline to have to move. So that's one factor. But there are certainly others. So this home is absolutely beautiful. I want you to take a peek at it. And by the way, the video tour for this home is on the YouTube channel. It is amazing. So if you are looking, or if you have friends or family that are looking, this is the Madison floor plan in a community called Hawksmoor, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. What's really unique about this is it is on a corner home site. So you'll notice that it is a rear entry garage style home. You can see that you don't see the garage from the front of it, but you can see it from the back. But what's really unique is that, first of all, it's on the corner, so you can see that giant privacy fence that's on the side. And if you watch the video tour, you'll see how much yard space they have. So yeah, if you want to have a pool, you can put a pool on this property, even if the garage comes in from the back. So you actually have not sacrificed anything. So I think that's important to kind of mention to people. You might have your mindset, you want to drive up to the front of the home into the garage, and that's okay if that's still what you're looking for. But this one is a really great and unique opportunity, and it has been on the market. There's nothing wrong with it. All of the feedback is amazing. Everybody loves it. But it just might not be the perfect home for everyone. But this is just a really good example, and we're going to reference back to this a little bit later, but I just kind of wanted to give you an update on this specific listing that we have going, just because it is still on the market, and there's nothing wrong with it. It is priced, actually, we wouldn't be pricing it too crazy high if that's what we felt it was going to be, too crazy high. So that's kind of an option. And, by the way, we're seeing that slow foot traffic, and that's what I call it, the slow foot traffic everywhere. Not just that listing, all the listings, all over the place. It's just a slow trickle. Part of that too is, with the new construction, we talked about this last week. We've talked about it in the Sunday drives. The builders are also seeing this slower foot pattern, foot traffic. All right, my glasses need to be cleaned, so I'm gonna take them off for a second. The builders are seeing this as well. And so there's a luxury that the builders have that the typical seller doesn't, which is that they have the ability to give you more. That's what they call the incentives. So if they're willing to pay all or the majority of your closing costs, if they're willing to, give you some money at a design center, if you're not on a time crunch, things like that, that is competition with our resales. And so sometimes that happens. So again, you always have to be careful when you're listing, both the actual homeowner as well as the realtor, to have that discussion about, what's going on in the market, how is that affecting the listing, and then just kind of keep that open communication and transparency there. And so I say that for all of you, any of you that have homes on the market right now that you're kind of wondering what's going on. It's just slow. It's okay. It's just slow, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're just back to where it's normal, and you wouldn't have worried about this a couple years ago. If your home was on the market for 2 weeks, it wouldn't concern you at all. So hang in there. All right, so now Eric has put together, by the way, those are the dogs. Sorry, that's Lucy. That's the $1 million dog over there. So Eric produces these, and he likes to throw in some other fun things. So the 456 is actually going to be a quick little thing to reference what you can get at that price point. So 400,000, 500,000, and 600,000. And Eric, I'm just gonna these examples are right here in this area.
And market in the last 5 days.
Right. So these have come on the market in the last 5 days here in this Horizon West Winter Garden area.
Just
So,
real quick touch
huh?
on. Just real quick touch on them. Just fast.
Oh, I was like, what? I thought you said touchdown. I was like, touchdown? What? Anyway, so yeah, so we're just going to go do a quick little, just again as a point of reference for you. All right, so 400,000. This is a townhome in Waterley, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It is a townhome. It has a single car garage, and that's something important to remember. Not that it matters, it's just important. A lot of people don't know the Waterley townhomes. And by the way, I love Waterley, love the builder, love the community, but these are single car rear entry garages as opposed to 2, which is what most townhomes are. But it is their larger one. It's the Sandhill, 1,817 square feet. $445,000. So when you are thinking about, I'd like to move to the Horizon West area and my budget is 500, take a look then at what you can get under 500 and slightly above. So this is in Winding Bay, which is a Kay-Hovnanian community. And there's also Rockwell Homes is also in Winding Bay in a section of it. But 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath. Now this is not a townhome. This is a bungalow or a rear entry, because you can see that it actually is its own connected or its own disconnected, unconnected, whatever, private home. It doesn't share a wall like a townhome does. So this one is 575,000, a little over 2,100 square feet. This is actually a very realistic price point for what you can think of for a rear entry at this square footage. So that's a good one. And now at the 600 mark, this is, by the way, if you noticed, all of these have rear entries. Did you pick up on that? So this is another one. This one is in Hamlin Reserve, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. This is another rear entry, which we refer to as a bungalow, a little over 2,500 square feet, 689,000. Candidly, I think that's too high, because if you think about it, look at this one. This one is very comparable, and it has a huge side yard, lots of space. So I think it's important just to kind of think about the 4, 5, 6. And by the way, that's more like 5, 6, 7, because this is 689. So these are definitely a little bit above. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of throw that out there and let you kind of see a little bit about what is in this market that has just come on the market within the past couple of days at those price points, because that really does a lot for setting your expectation as you start to think about prices now versus prices then. All right, so by the way, I keep looking over here, and I'm going to get to questions here in a second. But right now, we're going to do a quick, we have an interview today. I'm very excited about this one. And by the way, as we do this little Be Our Guest segment, if any of you have a question or something that you would like to kind of have addressed, and maybe you would like to be a quick little guest here on our show, send a note here in the comments and let us know that, and we'll try to get to you. But for today, look at who we are going to meet. So hi, Shafiq. I am so excited to talk to you. This is such a fun thing, and I think that you are the honorary long-term client of mine that has yet to actually be able to make the move here. So you're here in town. So tell us a little bit about why you're here in Florida at the moment, and anything that it took to get here, because you are coming from out of the country.
Yes, hello and welcome to Amy's time with, and I'm Shafiq, and I'm currently flown in from London, so a little bit tired, and I'm pleased to join you this morning. I've been following you for well over 10 years now, and we have family in California, Texas, and also very soon in Miami. So
Nice.
we will be spending a weekend down there to meet potential new family members. So we I first came to Orlando back in 1999, 2000. Immediately fell in love with the place. At the time, it was $2 to a pound, and you could purchase in Sammy's 3 bedrooms with a pool for $50,000.
Wow.
It was fantastic. At the time, there wasn't any real internet, so when I got back to London, I decided to phone a few people that I'd met and tried to get some information, but found it very difficult trying to get basic help. So I kind of fell out of love with the idea, and eventually now I'm getting closer to retirement. My children are getting older, finishing university.
So Eric just brought me something that wants me to talk about. So here today. So I have to say to everybody else, this is one of my favorite things is, I don't know, Shafiq, our lives probably would never have crossed had it not been for the videos and real estate and his interest. But what's the treasure that has come out of it, Shafiq, I love you. And I care if you move here, but I don't care if you ever end up having me help you buy a home. What is exciting is that we've become these friends. I'll get these little, Facebook messages in the middle of the night. I'm like, it's Shafiq. But what's really, really fun is that they both, my family, especially my husband and my sons, and Shafiq, you share this love of Liverpool football, and
Come on, you Reds!
Yeah. So not only have we kind of become friends about real estate and the hopeful potential move here and job opportunity and new life opportunity here in Florida, but we found new friends with common interests that we can relate to outside of it. Well, I am here for you. Like I said, if you have any questions, places to go, you want some stuff, just you know how to get in touch with me. And we are sending you lots of love and big hugs.
Thank you.
And thank you so much again for joining us. And we're going to go to Zillow Gone Wild next. Bye, Shafiq. Okay, so that was so fun, by the way. And before we go to Zillow, just remember, if Shafiq, again, this has been a long time that we've now known each other through the YouTube videos, and that's how we ended up getting connected. So it was wonderful. He's here in town, visiting for a little bit and doing some exploring and some networking. But it was nice because we're like, hey, do you want to be a guest? So speaking of that, if you would like to be a guest here on Coffee Time with me, if you have a question or if you just have some things you might want to kind of share with us or talk about, send us a message in the comments. And I think Eric said he was going to put his email address up there. Is that right, Eric?
What's that?
Did you say you were going to put your email address?
I did. I put it in there already.
Excuse me. So Eric put his email address in the comments. You can either text us here through the comments, or you can email and we'll hook you up. Okay, so let's talk about our Zillow Gone Wild today. Okay, so excuse me. All right, hold on. Water. All right, this is my Buc-ee's. Have you ever been to Buc-ee's? Anyone have Buc-ee's where you live? I actually have never been to a Buc-ee's. I've never had the honor of that experience, but my family has. Okay, so that's much better. Okay, so St. Cloud, Minnesota, $250,000, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, just a little over 2,100 square feet. This is an adorable home. This one is for sale again. But what's interesting is that the owners of this home, what I love is that people are very, very dedicated and committed to color choices. So this is a definite pink. There's blush, if you want to put a spin on that. Blush, home. And I say that with full disclosure, by the way, that our first townhome that Eric and I purchased, we're going to go back to those pictures in a minute and go through them. But the first townhome that Eric and I purchased, we got married. Shush, you just be nice. He's being so mean to me right now. All right, so we had, so when we first got married, we had a teeny tiny little apartment, like super teeny tiny. Then we purchased our first townhome, and it was new construction in Virginia. And they did have a decorated model that you could go into. And so we went into that decorated model, and like we all do, you are inspired and you fall in love with the design that they did. They had this big mirror behind the like on the dining room wall that just really kind of helped, really bounce the light off and made everything look deeper and bigger. And they had this beautiful blush, champagne, or let's just say pink carpet. And that was in the model home. Well, of course I fell in love with it. So when we went to the design center for our townhome, we also then chose that pink carpet. Now, it wasn't that pink. It was very pretty. It was a light pink. It was very champagne-y, like a bubbly champagne pink. But I don't want to, I don't want to be too mean about, those photos, because we also chose pink. So I can't go back to the photos anymore, Eric. Is that okay? He's not listening to me. Oh, well. Anyway, so what do you think about that Zillow house? Are you committed to a color? Do you have something in your home that is a little maybe out, I won't say out of the ordinary, but just is a little bit definitely committed to a specific color scheme? I know my son's room, he really wanted it to be like black and gray and white with some red.
If you go back,
We didn't go, I don't want to have to go back to the open though.
no, you can just go to here. Just go here.
Anyway, but my son, but I mean, we didn't do the black walls or anything like that. We were going to try to do some black wallpaper, and then we changed our mind because honestly, I figured by the time we got his room done, he's going to be at college, and I'm not going to want all that in there. Anyway, so I definitely think this is interesting. Now, first of all, I kind of have to tell you that the little circular little area right there, right here, the little dining spot, Eric said, he goes, it reminds of us Fuddruckers. Do you remember, or you might actually still have a Fuddruckers restaurant that is near you, but the one that they had in Virginia when we lived there, we used to take the kids there all the time, and they would share a milkshake. And in, I think it was like 4 corners of the restaurant, they had these circular booths, and one was like for the Beatles, and one was for Elvis. And anyway, so I just remember that. That reminds us of sitting in a little circular booth like that, sharing milkshakes many a moon ago. So anyway, all right, so let's go back and see if we've got some questions. So let me see if I can find some. Let me type this in. Okay. Okay, dumb question. Let me do this one. It's not dumb. It's not dumb. Okay. Dumb question. Are there weird bugs, insects in Florida? So many rumors about that, or is it just near the Gator water areas? That's a good question. So, yes, we do have a lot of bugs here. It's very humid. There's a lot of water. Our lakes are for the most part stagnant. The ponds, that's one of the reasons that they put those fountains in so many ponds, especially if it's like a man-made pond, within the communities. They put the fountains not only for the aesthetic, but it serves a purpose of circulating that water so it doesn't become stagnant with mosquitoes and all sorts of other bugs. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of bugs here, but it's not like you walk outside and you're being swarmed with them. We all know about love bugs. One of the biggest and most common bugs that you're going to see is a palmetto bug. This is what it looks like. So this is what you're going to see, but the other term is the American cockroach. So, but it's not the kind of cockroach where you turn your lights on and they scurry on your kitchen counter. It's not that kind of a bug. So if you see these in your home or you see them in a friend's home, do not think that they are disgusting people. These are just bugs. They're just here all the way. I'm sorry. Will you check that real quick? Because it's our guy for this afternoon.
I do like that people say palmetto bug.
I know, right? Palmetto bug. It sounds so much nicer than American cockroach. So yes, we do have bugs. We have mosquitoes, but that's another reason that we screen things in a lot so that you can really enjoy your outdoor space. You can sit out on your lanai. Whether or not you have a pool area doesn't matter, but if you have a lanai, a lot of people like to screen it to make that a barrier between any of those bugs and little lizards. We have the little gecko lizards kind of everywhere that scurry. Love bug season we've talked about. When we first moved here, like literally we first moved here, I put a can of bug spray beside the screen door that goes out to the yard, because when I would take the dogs outside before we put in the little doggy door, it was just the full door. And for whatever reason, all of these white gnat bugs were just up on the screen. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be horrible. I can't live like this. This is bad. So before I could even open the door, I'd go, shh, I'd spray the door down. They would all go away. I'd open the door, let the dogs out. But that did not last. That was only a couple of days. And so everything kind of has a season type of a thing. And again, a lot of that gets stirred up with the new construction and the candidly, the burning and the moving of the citrus groves or whatever nature is there as they start to prepare the land and do the grading and things that they need to do. But yeah, we do have bugs. We have spiders. I don't like spiders. So yeah, and we have a lot of like wasps. You'll see a lot of wasps' nests kind of being formed on the stucco. They love the stucco for some reason. So those are very, very common, but they're things that you learn to live with. It's just part of what you do here. And, as soon as you walk outside, you see the glorious sun and the palm fronds swaying in the breeze. You totally forgot about that little American cockroach you saw stuck in the corner. So it's all good. All right, let's see. Captain Banana, where does Eric get his haircuts? A fellow contemporary wants to know. You got this. Okay. You get them.
How do you shave down a Q-tip?
He said, how do you shave down a Q-tip? I will tell you, my husband has a fantastic head of hair. Always has. So where do you get it?
Like sports clips
or great clips. Nowhere fancy. He does not have a stylist or anything. However, because I know you're all wondering, I'm actually going tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow to get my hair done, finally. The one nice thing about just having long hair with no real style is that I can let it go for a long time before I have to get it cut. That I'm going tomorrow, and you probably don't care about that, but I go to a different salon. But yeah, Eric goes to any of the quick places, sports cuts, great clips, things like that. That's really impressive, right? I'm sure that you were so excited you asked that question. Tracy Moore, good question. What is a closing cost? Tracy, that's a fantastic question. So closing costs are fees and charges that are associated with the buying and the selling of a property. There are things such as title searches that have to be done. And ultimately what that means is that they have to go back through records to confirm that the owner of the property indeed is the owner of the property. No one else has any rights to it. And I don't know the whole story, so I'll have to figure it out. I'll see if I can go find that flyer. I was actually sitting at a closing one day. Just got there a little bit early, and there at the closing office, they had the little brochure holders, and one of them had Abraham Lincoln on the front, and it said something about why title is important. And apparently, Abraham Lincoln actually had several different properties that he lived on, and then it was found out that he did not have the rights to that land. And so title is very, very important, because the last thing you want is to be living in a home and someone to come knock on your door and say, excuse me, this is my property. So the title search is a big one. There's obviously taxes and transfer fees and things like that. So there's extra charges that are going to be associated with closing. Buyers have their designated or allocated portion. The buyer has their designated and allocated portion. And an example of it being prorated is taxes, for instance. And by the way, everything at closing, when it comes to your closing disclosure, is referenced as a debit or a credit. So it's either going to be debited from your account or credited to you. And all the numbers are just kind of changing back and forth. But if you think about it in this way, like taxes. So we all owe taxes on our property. If you are owning your property from January to June, you are going to be, that seller, that owner is going to be responsible for paying the taxes that will be assessed on that property from January to June. And then when the new owner purchases and closes on the home and they live there July through December. I know my months. July through December, then the new owner is going to be responsible for those taxes. Now, because of the way that we pay our taxes, we pay them in arrears here. So you get your first tax bill like in October, and I think you get a second one in November and December. And if you pay it early, you get a little bit of a discount. So that's an example of prorating. So the seller's going to have their portion, the buyer's going to have their portion of it, and that's kind of how that works. So closing costs are fees that are associated with the closing of the property. Both buyers and sellers have them. It also includes things like the realtor commissions are all kind of thrown in there as well. And one of the things when you are selling your home, your realtor should be able to provide for you a seller's estimated net sheet, which is going to tell you then if you have a property listed at this, if it sells at this, by the time you pay your designated or allocated closing costs, what is your actual net profit going to be? That way you can see kind of a line by line as to what those charges are. Eric is standing here because he needs something. Yes.
We have Lucy Cam.
We have Lucy Cam. Okay, what's Lucy Cam?
Lucy Cam right here. Let's try it.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Hey, Luce. Oh my gosh. What have you done?
I just put the camera on the floor.
You've shown the dirty box that's over there on the
She's
floor.
sleeping. You'll see the dirt.
You see the sand?
Look at the dirt.
Well, it's because she's laying on it.
Yeah.
Hi, Luce, my goose. Oh my
Lucy.
goodness. Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Okay, I'll go back. All right, that is cute. Okay. So Daniel and Erica, are you guys planning to attend the SLS launch next week? Our Generations Apollo missions. You know, that would be so wonderful. We do not have plans to do that, mostly because we don't have enough time in our schedule to allow us to do that. But that is another great point about the beauty of living here. You know, when I grew up, I guess I grew up in Virginia Beach, but when I started my family, we lived in what we call the historic triangle in Virginia: Jamestown, Williamsburg, and Yorktown. We lived in Yorktown. And that place was thriving with history, the actual battlefields, everything, you know, Jamestown, first settlement, historic Williamsburg, all of that was amazing, thriving with history. You know, here in Florida, we have history as well. You have St. Augustine, you have lots of different things here as well. But you have the ability to just go to the Space Coast and watch these launches. And I do have a lot of friends. I'll see them. That's where they go. It's a great event. They take their kids. I think it's very important for you to do that, candidly. I think if you can take time in your schedule to go experience that and share that with your kids and let them see just the amazing capabilities that we have as a country, but of where you live now as a state, some of those perks. I will tell you, it's still exciting. You can see, you know, the stream of the launches from here too. And I remember one day driving out to a community, and I saw all the salespeople were standing on the street, and they were all looking up, and we're like, what are they looking at? And you could see the launch. So it's very exciting. So if you have time in your schedule, I think it is absolutely something that is going to be well worth your while to go do that. And send me a picture if you go, because, you know, that's cool. Let's see. Any news on when the Hartzog extension will fully open? Nope, we're still probably a couple of years away. Huh? No. Yeah, there's just not much. I wish there was. Sorry about that. Susie, will Builder do a screen lanai as an extra? Is that something you have to do on your own? That's a good question, Susie. So in most cases, no. They did used to. It used to be an option. Even when we purchased this home, in our original design center PDF that they sent us prior to our actual appointment, it showed in there that you could screen the lanai. But a lot of builders have removed that. Again, building material issues. They don't want to be, you know, waiting on the screen when the rest of the home is done. And at the moment, screens and that aluminum is a little bit of a delay. So I would say plan on doing that after you close. There's lots of companies that do that. The benefit to doing it with the builder, if they allow you, is that it's there when you move in and you don't have to deal with the HOA for the approval. But you also probably paid a little bit more for it, so there's a convenience charge in there. But otherwise, I would say just plan on having to do that afterwards. And then that way you can actually bid it out a little bit and see what companies. So a little interesting tidbit, not that this really answers your question, but so we are screening in our pool, as we've talked about before. And we had, you know, we're doing the 2 doors on the side, and we needed the doggy door. And maybe doggy doors, because I don't know that Lucy could get through the little one, and I don't know that Maggie could push open the big one. So we may have to do 2. But at any rate, the screen company, which is being contracted by the pool company, said they won't put in the doggy door. So we're going to have to do the doggy doors after we put up the screen, which is weird. So there are some things that'll be a benefit to you to actually to contract that and bid that out yourself. And the cost can vary. Obviously, depending on your lanai, you may have just one little thing you need to put in, or you may have a really big extended lanai. So, but that's a good question. I like that. Very good. Alex, what are your must keep an eye out for during the pre-drywall walkthrough meeting? Okay, that is a really good question. Look at Alex, by the way. Isn't he adorable? Don't you just, like, you're already friends with him because he's already so animated and I love it. Okay, so here's the thing. If you are building, kind of like Alex is, a home where the structural options were really not your choice, candidly, right? If you purchased a home, the floor plan, the exterior elevation, and the structural options had already been chosen by the builder, and you did not have the benefit of being able to add additional recessed lights in this room, adding extra outlets over here for your work office, you needed some extra low voltage Cat 6 or something. If there wasn't anything that you did kind of different or unique to your property, then the majority of your pre-drywall walkthrough is a quick walkthrough for the builder to kind of go and just kind of give you a quick overview. It's really the only time you're going to be able to see what's happening behind the walls. It's also the time, though, to make any changes if something is wrong. It's not a time to change your mind, but a good example of this is that I did a pre-drywall walkthrough for some clients who were an older couple in a 55 plus community, and I took a look at their pendant light pre-wire, because at the moment it's all pre-drywall, right? So there's no fixtures hanging there yet, but you can see where the pre-wire is. And as I stood back and I looked at it and I kept looking at it, and I asked the builder, because I was there with the builder doing the pre-drywall on behalf of the clients, and I had said, are those centered? Because they look a little off, and it can be deceiving, because this is why you want the builder to assist you, because they might say, yeah, actually the countertop extends another 2 feet. So yes, they're centered. It doesn't look centered now, but it is centered. In this case, it wasn't centered. And so it was a very quick and easy time to move those and get them recentered at that time. But we didn't make a change like we want to add a third, or can we, whatever. So the things to look out for really is just if you made any specific changes or additions to your home. Make sure if you added 4 recessed lights that they're there. If you had a special request to put a low voltage junction of things that you needed for your home office setup, which, by the way, a lot of clients do. They have to have like mega low voltage capabilities in their home for their business. And so sometimes they'll put like a hub, they're like, I need an outlet here and an outlet here and a Cat 6 here and this there. And it's a time to make sure that those are in the right place, because sometimes people want them up higher, maybe they want them down lower. But other than that, it's really just the builder showing you, this is going to have 2 switches, one for the outlet, one for the half hot, or one for the fixture, one for the half hot. And you can see the electrical behind the walls, the plumbing behind the walls, and the HVAC behind the walls. And then once you get through that one, we are at drywall, and it gets really exciting. So Alice, I can't wait. I'm going to talk to you soon. We've already got our phone call scheduled. Yes, sir.
Zimmerman's actually emailed me that picture of Skylab that Erica saw on her drive to work. Taking off. Just.
Wow. When was this?
Well, you'd have to ask them.
Oh, this is the Zimmermans?
Yeah.
Oh, so you took this picture and sent it.
And
yeah.
they emailed it to me just now.
Oh, they emailed it. Nice. So yeah, so this is what'd you say? This is the launch, the Skylab. That's nice. Look at that picture. So this is kind of what you see. You see the little doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's what we can see when the launches happen. It's really exciting. That's really cool. We live in a cool place. I wish I could enjoy it a little bit more. 2 weeks ago. Excellent. Lovely. Can you show more construction homes around Horizon West to keep us updated on the work? Well, so Lovely. Yes, there's some of the communities, for instance, Silverleaf. In fact, I was going to give you an update on Silverleaf. Can I have my phone back? So Silverleaf is with Meritage. I've got some clients that are interested there. They are going to the waiting list only if you are pre-approved with Meritage Home Funding. They have people already on that list that have already done their pre-approval through MTH, which is, again, their Meritage's in-house lender. They are going to have another set of releases probably in September, October timeline. But at the moment, there's nothing there to see. So there's no Silverleaf homes that we can show you. We've got all of the Waterlea models have been on the YouTube channel for a while. We send our clients updates all the time as their homes are going under construction. We have the videos of what's left over with Rockwell Homes at Winding Bay. K-Hov Winding Bay is sold out. I mean, we have pretty much everybody that is there. We're waiting for the new Meritage model over in the other Ovation section. Should be opening pretty soon, and then we'll be doing the video tours of that. But the reality is that until some of these new communities open and have models to showcase, there's nothing for us to showcase with the new communities, which I will tell you is a little bit frustrating because they're pre-selling before they have models even to walk through or a sales center with which to go to. You usually have to go to another sales center that they have either down the road or maybe they're pre-selling out of another community. But yeah, absolutely. As soon as those communities are up and running, whether it's Encore, well, we have Encore Ovation, but any of the West Haven Ovation, when we get the Toll Brothers and we get the Pulte for Del Webb Oasis, we're going to have all of those models. We're just anxiously waiting for those to be completed. All right, so let me go back now to give you a second while you got more questions popping in there. What else are we going to do? We're going to do...
Oh, no, man.
We're going to do what I'm watching, mostly because I need another sip of my coffee. Okay, so I'm still watching The Walking Dead. I think I'm on season 6, episode 5. I don't know. So again, not anything I ever would have assumed I would ever watch. Not typically something that would pique my interest just by any of the artwork or the photos that they do. But I started it with my daughter, and so we're into that. So I don't have time to watch much else. Although I did watch last night season 4, I think, of I didn't watch the whole season. Good gracious, it's not like I'm watching TV all day. But Glow Up, the makeup artist. Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. I can barely put on like eyeliner anymore, and I definitely don't do it like they do. So it's amazing what they can do and how they transform. So Glow Up is, I just watched the first episode last night. Well, candidly, I fell asleep during the first episode, but I'm glad that there's a new season of that because that's going to give me something else to watch, because candidly, The Walking Dead is a little depressing. It's exciting. I've gotten very connected to some of those characters, and then as soon as I get connected, they kill them off. So it's a little frustrating, but that's okay. I heard that was going to happen, so I'm good to go. By the way, tell me what you're watching, because I always like to have those things. Oh, by the way, so I found out totally by accident that one of the characters in The Walking Dead is actually the main character of Virgin River, which is one of my favorite ones. So I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. So that was a happy accident. So that's exciting news. Okay. So Eric had said that somebody had a question asking about if the gators can get through the fence. Is that right?
Yes.
Rob. Yes, Rob did. Oh, hey, Rob. So I won't say no, they can't, but in most cases, no. I mean, obviously, if it's a big gator, they probably can't. If it's a little one, if it's a baby gator and it decides to, go up and go through, it probably can. I mean, obviously, you've seen videos on the news and stuff about people with, gators in their pools and things like that. So somehow they can find a way to get in. I will tell you that one of my first experiences with an alligator here, we were going down 50 West Colonial Parkway. We had just passed Colonial Lakes, which is at the time the nursing home where my mother-in-law was in. And I was going down the road, and a gator had just climbed up the chain link fence, not the black one, the chain link. It had gone up and over it. That's crazy. And it had stepped out onto the road, and it was so funny because it went step onto the road, and then a car swooshed by, and it stepped itself back, and then I don't know what happened because I kept going. But so the chain link fence is one thing, but can they climb up and over the other ones? I don't think so. And can they get through? Again, only if it's a baby. And by the way, there are certain kind of fences here that they have what they call puppy pickets. So if you look at the bottom rung, so you'll have your typical rungs that are spaced out, but the bottom section looks like they're closer together, so it's like little jail. So that's a great thing if you have smaller dogs or pets in general, to kind of keep them from being able to squeeze through. So I would advise, if you have that concern, to do one of the versions of the fences that allows you the little puppy picket. I don't know if that's exactly what they call it, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you look at the different varieties. Okay, Susie, you mentioned getting on the builder's list once pre-approved by a lender. What if you're a cash buyer? How do you get on the list? Excellent question. So if you are a cash buyer, then you can still certainly get on that list. You just need to show a proof of funds. So if you're going to purchase a home and you're expecting that home to be $600,000, you just need to to let us know, and we can get you on that list, and then we show them that proof of funds. And a lot of people say, well, what is a proof of funds and how do I get that? So a proof of funds is exactly what it says, which is you just need to prove to them that you have that accessible cash. And if it's tied up in investments or if it's in a savings account, that's okay. They just need basically one of two things. And by the way, your actual lender, the actual person with the builder is going to, tell you specifically if there's something else that they need. But in most cases, they need one of two things. Either a letter from your bank, which they can do for you very easily, which just is a formal letter that shows that you have those funds available. But what is easier and probably even better is to do a snapshot of your statement, making sure that you cross out any account number information, anything that's too personal. It needs to have three things on it: the name of the banking institution, your name, and the balance. They don't need to see the specifics of, certainly we don't want the entire account number or social security number. We don't need any of that stuff, but you'll need a proof of funds letter, and that will suffice. That puts you on the list so they know that you have the funds accessible to purchase that home. That's a great question, Susie. See, I love you guys. You're like so smart with this now. All right, let me see. Where's another one? Did I miss one? EV charger for new construction.
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, good. Would you invest in an EV charger for new construction? I plan on winning the lottery and buying a Tesla. Of course. And I'm going to send lots of good mojo your way so that happens. So again, we kind of go back to the same thing. If you are building with new construction and you have not only the ability to choose structural options, and secondly, if the builder allows you that charger, then I think you may as well go ahead and do it with the builder. That way it's all done at the same time. The electrical panels, it's all going to be inspected. It'll make sure that it's up to code, and then it's going to provide you whatever it is that you need as far as the charging capability of that. But the biggest question is, do you even have that opportunity based on when you purchase that new construction home? Like I said, so many things have already been chosen that you come in later into the process, and so all of the time that you could have made those choices has long since passed. But if you get in early enough and you can, and the builder offers it as an option, then if that's your plan, I don't think it's not so crazy expensive that it's going to really affect the overall pricing of the home, and it might assist you later when you win the lottery. Who knows? All right. Two more Will they take a future winning lottery ticket? You guys are so fun. Like, seriously, you are making my Monday. This is one of the best ones. No, they won't. That's cute, though. I like you for trying. So that's funny because I have always done a funny little bit kind of where if I'm buying something or if it's sales or something like that, I'm always like, so what's the nice person discount? Because I know, some people are not quite as nice. Sometimes they're really jerky to the salespeople. And so I always say, hey, what's the discount for the nice people? Like, what's that discount? And you know what? Funny enough, every once in a while, they'll throw in a little discount. So it's kind of nice to know that. All right. So Eric just hit the button. That's my sign. Stop talking.
No,
all right.
It's not. No, it's your sign to tell people how to contact.
Yes, you can contact me calling or text 407-848-8042. So I will tell you, phone is much, much easier for me. Texting, mostly because I can see that a little bit faster if I'm with a client, if I'm in a meeting. When I get a chance, I can reference down if it's something I can quickly answer yes, no, or give you what kind of answer you need. It's a lot easier than if you call. I may or may not be able to answer. If I can, I will. But if I don't, that's because I can't. And so again, I think texting is the first form of communication, is a little bit easier for me. And that way we can schedule a time to chat, like I did with my sweet clients, Amy and Mike, last night from Pennsylvania. We chatted for 1 hour and 10 minutes. It was a scheduled 45-minute phone call. but I always go over. Shocker. But that was helpful because they had set aside the time, I had set aside the time, and we had a really good, long, cohesive conversation. And that was because they texted first. We got the process going like we normally do, and then we scheduled via calendars times to actually chat so that we can have a really good, effective conversation. All right. Anything else? Eric, did I miss anything with our really big day?
I think we're good.
I think we are good. I think we're good. I'm just going to take a look at any of my other things.
I think you're good.
Oh, wait. I have one more thing. Where's the storm?
Oh, you gotta go on here.
We're going to do, this is not part of this. By the way, Eric's background is in television production, so I am super fortunate. But we're going to be doing, first of all, Eric and I have always loved storms. We like to be safe inside a shelter when there are storms, but we love watching them. As long as we know that our loved ones are safe, no one's on the road, no one is stuck outside somewhere, we love it. So we're going to do a live stream.
Wait. Yeah.
We're going to do a live stream when a thunderstorm comes every once in a while. It's just so you can sit and kind of watch what a thunderstorm looks like here over top of Disney. So we have a lovely...
Wait. Well, I'll just say, it's important to subscribe to the channel and hit notifications, because then they'll get notification when we've gone live.
Okay, so he says, if you didn't hear him, it's important to subscribe to the channel and hit notifications. That way you'll be notified, because that way if a storm is coming up, and I'm sure you all do this, but definitely in Florida, we all sign up for the news alert apps that sends you, severe thunderstorm warning, lightning detected in your area, blah, blah, blah. So we'll be able to notify you when we're getting ready to turn on that camera, and you can have a live feed and see what a storm looks
show
like.
my cool opening. But
all right, where is the opening?
It's right there,
Hold
there,
on.
opening, right there.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. You've got my thing back. What did I just hit? Okay, hold on. Where? Backwards.
Where's this opening? Down.
That one?
Yeah, and then our sound will go away. But
Okay, our sound's going to go away, but this is the opening for what we will do if you guys like thunderstorms like we do.
Hit the little play thing.
I'm hitting the play.
No.
There it is. There.
I like that. Oh, sorry, we're on.
Okay. All right. We're getting ready to wrap it up here, guys. But that's just something fun. So if you like thunderstorms like we do, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button so that when we have those late afternoon thunder boomers, and you're safe somewhere, if you want to kind of watch it with us, they're pretty fascinating. The lightning here is unreal. So we have a little setup over here out the windows. So we'll share that with you. All right, guys, this was a really fun one for me. I got up a little earlier, so I was awake a little bit more. And again, thank you for helping me start my day. Hopefully your day is going to be a lovely, beautiful one as well. If it is evening where you are, wherever you call home, then thank you for having your afternoon or your evening coffee with me. I appreciate it. We appreciate you. And as always, remember, please stay safe, stay well. Remember that we love you. We are thinking about you, and happy house hunting, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.